Hi, this is Tracy with the Limelight Pet Project, and today we are at Seattle Area Feline Rescue in North Seattle with Shelly Lawson. And Shelly, who do we have for adoption today?
Today we have Galaxio. He is one of many wonderful adult cats that we have available, and one of a couple vision impaired kitties. Galaxio is blind, but he doesn't let that stop him from having a wonderful life.
So tell us a little bit about Galaxio, about how old is he and how long has he been with Seattle Area Feline Rescue?
Galaxio was about 12 years old. That is an estimate because we don't know a lot about his history before he came to us. He's been with us about a week, but he was homeless before then. It's really clear that he was somebody's pet at some point because you can tell he just wants to love you and he wants to be in a home. And he's hoping to have that again for his golden years.
Oh. Now, in the time that we've been here and that we've been getting to know him, I love the combination of that regal floof that he has, but also you were saying that he's a really messy eater. So I'm picturing a cat who's eating like Cookie Meowster. So what is your favorite thing about this kitty?
Well, how messy he eats is really endearing. He will, if you give him a treat, he can get it all over his face and not even care. He's just so happy to have a treat.
Very enthusiastic.
Yes. Sometimes we hold the bowl up for him just to help him eat, but he really is quite self-sufficient. And I also love his floof. He just has the fuzziest, most beautiful coat. And I like that he drools when you pet his chin. I think that's very sweet.
He gets so happy that he drools. I love that.
It's a happy drool, yeah.
So you haven't had him here for very long, but do you know how he acts around other cats, or if he's been exposed to children or dogs, and if so, how he's acted?
That's a great question. It's a little hard to say because we don't know what his life may have been like before he came here. We can't say if he lived with other dogs or kids or cats. We can say that he's a pretty chill guy, all things considered. He can get overstimulated a little bit with new things because he can't see, so it's a little harder for him to process his surroundings. But when it comes to being able to hear or smell other cats or new people around, he generally will just chill out after he settles in. So he's probably pretty flexible.
Now, other than being blind, does he have any behavioral or health issues that a potential adopter should know about?
I think the blindness is the main thing to be aware of. He's going to need to be an indoor kitty. Of course, the outside world is always dangerous for kitties, but much more so if they can't see.
Right.
And he'll just need a calm environment because he's not going to be as aware of everything that's happening around him, so he's a little prone to being surprised. But I think those are the main things for his new family to be aware of.
Now, do you have any advice for somebody that's considering adopting a vision impaired cat? Are there any special steps that they should take to make the animal more comfortable in their home?
You know, I think you'll be surprised if you take home a vision impaired kitty at how well they adapt. I have a one-eyed cat at home and you would never know it.
Right.
He just moves around and it doesn't bother him at all. And even with a cat who does not have vision, he will learn by sniffing, by his whiskers, by feel, just by memorizing the layout of the rooms, and he'll make himself at home in no time. So it really is worth it to make a vision impaired cat part of your family. They can be a wonderful, happy companion.
Well, and I loved it when we were taking photos, how he was just listening to Holly talk. And he kind of perked his head up and, cocked his head to the side a little bit, and you could tell that he was really interested in the conversation that we were having.
Absolutely. They are amazingly aware and responsive, even with one sense that's not working for him. He does a great job.
So his ideal home would probably be a quieter home with some predictability so that he can feel calm and confident. Anything else that would be on his maybe top 5 list?
Treats, pets, and naps.
Nice.
And definitely some brushing. As you can see, he has very long hair, so he could use just some help keeping it not free. But he'll be just grateful, I think, to have a family and somewhere to call home, and he sure deserves it.
Well, and I love also how he has this out-of-this-world name, but he's just looking for a soft place to land here on Earth. So hopefully somebody has, room in their heart and home for a vision impaired kitty, and having met several vision impaired kitties myself, they always surprised me with just how resilient they were, and a lot of the time you couldn't even tell that they were blind.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Shelley, and here's to hoping somebody sees Galaxio and falls in love or decides to come and meet one of your other vision impaired kitties. And it's been a pleasure to get to know him this morning.
Thank you so much for having us. It made his morning.
Aw.
Some extra snuggles.
Good boy, Galaxio. Hi. Shelley, who do we have for adoption today?
This is Lola, and she is very sweet.
So we've gotten a chance to get to know Lola a little bit, and she's a little bit on the shy side, but when she opens up, it's just beautiful. Can you describe her personality a little bit to us?
Yeah, when you first meet her, you might think that she's very withdrawn or not interested in meeting you, but that's not the case at all. She's just a little shy at first. And when you take a few minutes and get to know her, you realize that she's soft and fluffy, and she even loves chin scratches. She's a big cuddler.
She was also snuggling into your shoulder quite a bit.
Yes, it's like getting a hug from a cat when they just kind of melt into your arms. Very sweet.
So how did Lola come to Seattle Area Feline Rescue, and how long has she been here?
Lola has been with us since January, so she's been here a little while recovering. She was living outside and then had an injury and wasn't doing well, so after a long time living outside, it was time for her to come to rescue and have a chance at getting a safe and loving home.
So you've had a little while to get to know Lola. What's your favorite thing about her?
Oh, that is hard. I think it's how cuddly she is. She's just like a teddy bear. She gives good snuggles and good hugs, and she's very warm and soft. So you'll never be lonely if you adopt Lola, that's for sure.
Now we're focusing on vision impaired cats this morning. What's Lola's visual impairment?
So Lola has only one eye. She had an eye injury when she was living outside, and it's likely that she hasn't been able to see out of the eye that she lost for a long time. You wouldn't really know it with how she acts, and one-eyed cats adapt so well that you would never know that they have any vision impairment whatsoever. So I don't think it'll really be an issue for her. She looks a little extra rough right now because she's still healing from her surgery, and she has her little shaved face, but it'll all grow back in and you would hardly even know.
And you were talking about how she recently came from a foster home where she blossomed and she came to the rescue to be adopted. What I love is that she's relaxed enough to eat a little bit of her kibble, and there's some catnip down here too.
Yeah, she's a social eater, and aren't we all? It's nice to hang out with friends when you eat, and when she feels reassured and happy, then she likes to eat. So it's a good sign. Yeah.
Now she's a little bit shy at first, but warms up pretty quickly. She's has the slight visual impairment, but she's only about 8 years old. Does she have any other health or behavioral issues that a potential adopter should know about?
I think the main thing is just to give her a little time to blossom with you. Her foster home said that after a few days it was really hard to get a picture of her because she was just a blur of snuggles. She wouldn't just sit for the camera, she'd run up to them and try to be on their laps. So just give her a little time, and she's going to do great.
And what do you think her ideal living situation would look like?
You know, I think she would be pretty adaptable, and our adoption counselors can always help you figure out if your household would be a good fit for her and vice versa. Good girl. I think a little time is always good. We always recommend that kitties are confined at first into a small space so they can get to know that space and be comfortable with it and know where their litter box is. So I think just a household where there's some patience to give her time to slowly be introduced to more and more of her living situation, and then she's going to be a loyal and loving member of the family for sure.
And when she was living outside, she was around other cats and seemed to do okay.
Yeah, she got along fine with the other cats that she was around. She seems a little bit more interested in humans than other cats. I think she's just making up for years of not much attention and just wants to soak it all in. But she's a pretty flexible girl.
Oh, what a sweetheart. And then because she came to the rescue pretty recently, you're not sure about her history with children or with dogs?
We're not entirely sure, no, although we suspect that she hasn't spent much time indoors, and so it all may be very new for her, but there's ways to make introductions and help set things up for success. And again, we'd be happy to work with you if you're interested in taking her home and help you figure everything out.
And if she could talk, how do you think she would describe her perfect day?
Oh my goodness, well, I think she would wake up next to you purring. She likes to be warm and cozy. Breakfast is always good, but I think a nap after breakfast also. She's young enough to still play, but cuddles and lap cat is where it's at for her.
Oh, sweetheart. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning, and here's to hoping that somebody sees Lola and they just fall in love with her and want to bring her into their family. Thank you so much, Shelley.
Thank you for having us. I hope so too. She's just so wonderful, and I think she's going to make someone really, really happy.
And if somebody thinks this is the perfect cat for my family, how do they reach out to Seattle Area Feline Rescue?
There are a couple ways. You can check out our website, seattleareafelinerescue.org, which will have a list of our available kitties, including Miss Lola here and our other kitties. But if you have specific questions and want to get in touch with an adoption counselor, please feel free to email us, adoptions@seattleareafelinerescue.org.
Wonderful. Well, good luck, Lola. Here's looking at you, sweetheart. This has been Tracy with the Limelight Pet Project, and we shine the light on harder to adopt pets because their stories are worth telling.